Welcome to Paper Crafters Muse, and we thank you for joining us today as we create out of the 8 cards that you can make from this beautiful card kit using the Heidi Swap Paper Pack, 36 lovely sheets. Let's get started by unboxing our treasures. So as we open, the first thing you'll see is an inspiration sheet. Those are the 5 cards that you can make, but it comes with so much more. As you open, sparkly paper. You have Impression Obsession, Roses in a Glass stamp set. You also have the Memory Box Sentiment stamp set. Isn't that cute with the little star? And look what you get. Look at this. Heidi Swap paper pad, 36 sheets, 3 sheets in 12 designs. Let's check them out. Look how beautiful that paper is. Now remember, it's double-sided. Let's put that to the side. We'll get to that later. You also have 2 black card bases, and you're going to have 4 white card bases. Along with that, you also have a little packet of sea beads that you can use. And look at this beautiful gross grain ribbon, polka dots. We can definitely use that. So look at all this stuff that you see the card bases that you have. We're going to go ahead and just box these back up so we can get started. I know that you're as excited as I am, so let's do it. We're going to leave out your inspiration sheet though, because you will need that. So we're going to put... Okay, so keep your inspiration sheet right here. The first card we're going to work on is this one that has the embossed thank you. So let's go ahead and move our inspiration sheet over, and let me show you what you'll need for that first card. All you're going to need from that paper pack is just 1 sheet. Remember, it's double-sided. First thing you want to do is let's go ahead and fussy cut this beautiful decorative border out, because that's what we're going to use, as you see from my sample, right here at the bottom. And then we'll trim it to size. So that's the first thing you want to do. The next thing you want to do is from the back of that card, you want to cut out the first layer 4 by 5 1/4. That will be your first layer right here. You're using it on your white card base, okay? But don't adhere anything yet. You're going to also, from this same piece, 1 sheet of paper, you're going to have this little strip that's going to be 3/4 of an inch by 4 inches. So go ahead and cut that out now. The first thing you want to do is, once you have cut out that strip, you're going to adhere it to either your right side or your left side of that first layer and trim that off. You see I have some excess. On my card, what I did was I gently sponged the edges, as you can tell, with some Distress inks right there. That is your choice. You don't really have to if you don't want to. Okay? And I used worn lipstick. Once you have done that, you want to then, before you adhere it to your white card base, you want to go ahead and just get some twine, and you're going to wrap that right around and create that beautiful little bow. You don't have to, but that's just an option. The last thing you want to do is then we're going to pop this up on the card. As you can tell, it's slightly popped up, which gave it a beautiful dimension, and that's what we're going to do on that last piece. Okay, so that's your first card. Let's go ahead and put that aside, and let's move on to the second card. What will you need? Going back to our inspiration sheet, we're going to do our second card, which is going to be this bliss card right here. Let's see what you're going to need for that bliss card. That's our sample. You're going to need 3 sheets from that Heidi Swap paper pack. The black that has the bliss, that black and white striped, isn't that just beautiful? And the full rose pattern paper. The first thing we want to do is, from this rose paper, we want to cut that 4 by 5 1/4 which will then be adhered to your black base that's in that box. The next thing we want to do is from the black and white paper that you have, which is the strip, you just want to cut 4 by 1 inch. Okay? As you tell, it's just peeking out from the bottom. And from your bliss, you want to cut that 2 inches by 5 1/4, which will take it across that first layer that you have. Now this is a very simple card for those of us that like quick and simple, but still very elegant in every way. So if you see, now remember, you can go ahead and either move that list up a little bit, or you can move it down and show as much of that black and white stripe as you choose. That was our second card. Let's move on back to our inspiration sheet, our last card. Now we will show you at the end of this video some other options that you can make from just this one box. But our last card is featured right here. And let's see what it looks like. This is our last card we'll be making. Let's see what you'll need to make that card. Of course, that beautiful rose in a vase IO stamp, as well as you could also just go ahead and take out that clear stamp too. We might use that later on. What are you going to need? Let's see. You're going to use the black and white polka dot paper. Now, from the remaining of the papers that was left over from the 2 cards we made previously, remember we still have some paper left over from these 2 cards that we made. We're going to use some of those scraps, as you tell from right here on the card. We're going to make them into flag banners, okay? So let's put that right there. Now on my card, I went ahead and stamped that on watercolor paper, okay? But that was how I did it. You can stamp it. Make sure you use StazOn if you are going to use any kind of water-based coloring medium, but pick out whatever you choose to color it with. Now you have your banners. Let me show you an easy way to make your banners. Now we're going to be doing this. You're going to cut this piece of paper that you have right here. You're going to cut that 4 and 5 1/4, which gets adhered to that white base. Easy way to cut your banners. If you have a strip, now all the strips, I'm going to tell you the sizes of the strips, okay? Because I know people go by sizes, but an easy way to make those little notches at the end of those, you're going to cut it down the center like I did right there, and then you're just going to do a nice diagonal, and then on the other side, that they meet, and voila. Okay, you have your flag strip. Now the first flag strip that you're going to make is going to be cut 4 by 1/2 inch. Okay? The second flag strip of any pattern design, because remember all the design pattern paper go well together, is going to be 3 1/4 by 1/2. And the last flag strip is going to be 3 by 1/2. You're going to go ahead and adhere those in any order that you choose, meaning you can go from the longest, this is just showing you as an example, to the next and further on up, like I did here. So you choose how you want to go ahead and structure that on your black and white paper. Make sure that you have colored your image and you have fussy cut it. And if you notice, this was also popped up, as you can tell. I just think it gives it a lot of dimension on that card. These are the cards that we have made thus far. We want to show those to you again using our stamp, our word stamp by Memory Box. However, I do want to show you some other cards that you can make from the paper. Look at this beautiful one. All I did was roll the edges of that beautiful paper. That's all you needed to do, and adhere it to the other piece of black cardstock that you will have in your box. And the last card, that's a sample that you can do, is this beautiful one, where you will use your glass beads that's in your little packet. I went ahead and stamped the image, and we can always tell you how you can up your game on that card box by ordering that die cut. Look at this beautiful die cut that I used to create that window card. Again, we use that same Rose in a Vase Impression Obsession stamp. And what I did this time on this card, if you notice, I just trimmed the bottom. I just wanted it to just gracefully go to the very bottom of that card. And again, I did it on watercolor paper, and I used Tim Holtz Distress Inks to color it. So I hope that from looking at all these beautiful cards, you can go ahead and place your order for your card kit immediately. We want you to definitely call, and remember now, we only have a limited amount of these card kits, so you want you to call the number 980-339-3054.